Hi guys. So I mentioned yesterday that at the competition I did not do very well in 5x5, which is pretty par for the course for me these days. It's becoming the new normal, and obviously I don't like it. It's really frustrating to keep doing not just worse, but significantly worse in a lot of cases than I know I can do. And there doesn't seem to be anything that I've tried recently that helps, which is obviously a shame because I know I can get sub 50. It just isn't happening. I've tried comp sims. I did a lot of comp sims in the lead up to UKC last year, but I just didn't find that it kind of helped that much. Even at the time, sort of my part of my mentality was that I just kind of knew that ultimately in the back of my mind, whatever I did, that it was just a comp sim and it was at home, and that it wasn't, a competition no matter how hard I tried to make it that. And similarly in competition, no matter how hard I tried to replicate my like at home solving conditions or mentality or whatever, I still know it's a competition, and something about it being a competition just makes me kind of like not necessarily completely panic, but do things that I just wouldn't do at home. Seemingly all of my cross edge knowledge goes out of my head sometimes when I sit down to compete. I think that's what happened at the weekend. And really, I think it does just come down to the fact that I care about it, and the fact that I want to do well means that there is always some pressure on me that I put on myself, I guess, even like unintentionally. Obviously, I don't want to put pressure on myself, but the fact that I care just means that there's always going to be something working against me, which is really annoying because even though I care about many other events as well, like especially multi and the other big cubes, even if I've practiced like quite a bit, ultimately 5x5 is probably almost always going to have been the thing that I practiced the most. I will know that as much as I do care about those other events, whatever they happen to be at the time, there's always something I care more about. So if I do badly, I'll be like, oh, it's not that bad. It doesn't weigh as heavily on my mind. And even if I do really badly, it's like okay, that was annoying, but we move on. And also the fact that it's not my main event, any of them, means that I am more likely to do well. Like even now have a better track record. And I mean, if you take the comp of the weekend as an example, I practiced almost all of the events, pretty much all of the events going into it. Not equal amounts, obviously, but I did practice a lot of all of the big cubes and all of the blind events. And I got a podium in 4 blind, which was nice. I'd been practicing a lot because I learned 3-style centres, well, comms for centres, and at least one of my 5 blinds had successful centres as well, so that was cool. And like I'm still doing comms on the spot, sort of on the spot, but like intuitive comms basically. So having to come up with stuff on the fly and making sure you don't like make any exec errors. There is a bit of pressure in doing that, and of course it's big blind, so there's pressure there anyway. I knew I definitely could have had a podium in at least one of them going into it. I still did okay in 4 blind, and I was close to a success in 5 blind as well. Same thing with 6x6 and 7x7. I'd been practicing them a lot. I've been trying to like work on my look ahead and my cross edges efficiency as well, and I don't remember doing anything like majorly wrong in cross edges. Like I don't remember thinking, oh, that was quite inefficient, or I like panicked and made a mistake there. I don't remember thinking that at any point in the solves. And I got a very good PR 7x7 mean, and I got very, very close to PR 6x6 mean as well. And both means were definitely the most consistent that I've had recently. So that was really nice as well. And again, like especially 6x6, I've really, really practiced quite a lot recently. So I was like really happy to get another good result. But 5x5 it just didn't work, and I remember thinking on a lot of the solves those cross edges were pretty bad, and I don't know why that happens. I think part of me is a bit scared to like have a big pause in the middle of it and try and look for stuff, or like do a sort of like a half rotation to try and recognize pieces or something, because I'm worried about like ruining the flow of my solves, because I guess when I have good solves at home the flow is really good, so I don't want to ruin them because then it feels like it won't be a good solve or something. I don't really know. The root of it, like I said, is just the fact that I care. I don't want to say I care too much, because I don't think you can care too much. I don't think that's possible. I think it's just I just care a lot, and that means that there's pressure on it, whether I like it or not. And the fact that I've cared so much for so long now means that it's going to be incredibly hard to not care. It's easier in other events because it's never, like, other events have never been the thing I cared about the most. It's always been 5x5. And like a big part of mentality in a lot like other sports, like high pressure situations, is to try and like not care. And again, I've even tried that, and it sort of hasn't. I mean, it's made it easier to deal. It's made it slightly easier to deal with when I get worse results, but it doesn't help me get better results, I don't think. As weird as this sounds, like, I don't want to not care. I want to care because, because I do care, and I want to get good results. And when I get good results, I want to be happy with it. So it's a pretty difficult situation to break out of. It just seems like a never-ending loop of like negative feedback and caring too much and then getting bad results, and then caring even more because I want to get better results to prove that I can, because I know I can. And like I said, things like comp sims that should help in theory haven't seemed to have helped really. I will do some more and get back on it. I'm going to be trying to do a lot of more serious specific practice things like comp sims, and not just for 5x5, for a lot of different events in the next like 6 weeks, because I've got the Farewell Strathclyde comp coming up, which has got 3 rounds of almost all the events, basically just like a ton of rounds and there's every event there. And to an extent, I do want to practice every event for it, because this is obviously a pretty unique competition, and obviously I don't want to feel like I've wasted it. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that I have as many chances as I can to do well. And also as well, if one thing goes badly, most likely 5x5, there'll be less of a chance of it being a downer on the whole competition, because it won't be like the only focus, and I'll have like a lot of other things hopefully that I'll have had good results in as well. Maybe doing every event, maybe all rounding, is the secret to like not caring as much, because I'm just sort of spreading things out evenly. I don't really know. Like I said, I've tried a lot of things and nothing's worked yet. Nothing seemed to have worked, certainly in the last year. So, I guess I just got to keep trying, keep doing whatever I can think of. And yeah, like I said, there's always going to be a part of me, probably quite a big part of me, that does care. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just not helping at the minute. Like I said, just got to keep going. That's all you can ever really do. So yeah, I'll do exactly that, and I'll see you tomorrow.